Welcome to Divine Love Tarot. I want to thank you and welcome you to my channel, whether it's your first time here or you return viewer or subscriber. I hope that this message resonates and helps you in some way. If you find that it doesn't, just keep in mind that this is a general reading and they do not resonate for everyone. And you may want to check out your moon sign, your rising sign, or even your Venus sign, because sometimes those are more prominent in your chart. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into your reading. Hey there, Taurus, and welcome to your February 2019 general reading with me, Divine Love Tarot. Let's go ahead and get into this reading. So it is a general reading. It's not a love reading. If you've been with me since the beginning, you know that I started off doing general readings, and then I got caught up in doing the love readings. And, you know, now we're back to the generals too. So I'm going to pull 5 cards. One card is going to be the overall energy for the month, and then 4 weekly cards, okay? And I'm also going to be pulling clarifiers for each position. All right, so let's go ahead and see what is going on for this month of February for my Tauruses, okay? Start of the Chinese New Year and everything. All right, the overall theme and message for this month for you guys is the Ace of Wands. All right, first week you may be dealing with some negative three of cups in reverse energy. Negative 3 of cups. Wow. Can y'all tell I like math? All right, second week you're dealing with the Queen of Swords in the reverse. Third week we're dealing with the Sun in reverse. And for the last week, rounding out the month, we've got the 9 of Wands. All right, so interesting energy. So basically this month your theme is a new beginning, okay? And with the Ace of Wands, this is about the motivation to do something new, okay? For some of you, this may be new romance. This could possibly be a job, or, you know, if you're starting a new project or a new creative project, this is that energy and motivation and that creativity to get the ball rolling. All right. So for some of you, this Ace of Wands can represent fertility. You know, represents raw passion and drive. Okay. So let's go ahead and see what context that plays out for you for the rest of the month. Okay. First card you've got is the 3 of Cups in the reverse. So for some of you, you're probably gonna not be socializing as much, especially for those of you who are really starting a new project, or, you know, if you're getting a new job, then maybe you're not going to be spending too much time socializing. For others of you, you may be dealing with possibly office politics, okay? So say you're going after a new promotion or a new job within a company that you have, then, you know, we all know the game of corporate America. So, you know, you're going to be dealing with, you know, some regular, normal office politics. You may not have people working with you. Teamwork may be lacking, because especially when, you know, you're trying to get ahead, it's very rare that you have a team of people who are also trying to do the same thing and they're helping you, you know, so there may be a lack of teamwork. In relationships, you know, this can indicate that there's a lack of connecting emotionally. You know, for some of you, this represents the friend zone, okay? Someone you may be interested, maybe putting you in the friend zone, but it may be for your best good, because you might have something new and better coming in, okay? So when we see the aces, when you have new beginnings, you've got to let go of some of the old sometimes, right? So with this 3 of Cups, also this can represent gossip, okay? There could be lots of gossip. This can represent too much partying, okay? Too much of a good thing. This can also represent a third-party situation. So let's go ahead and clarify this. And we've got the King of Swords, okay? So, you know, for some of you, this may be a situation where you are having an affair with a King of Swords type of person, okay? But if not, if this is a work situation, then it's calling for you to be a leader, okay? It's calling for you to really, you know, be powerful, be quick, Be strategic, be thoughtful, all right? For some of you, you may be dealing with a King of Swords type character who helps you with that, with being quick and strategic and, you know, seeing a few steps ahead, almost like playing chess. So if you are in an office type environment and you are trying to weed through the office politics, you're going to have to either employ this King of Swords energy, or there's going to be a King of Swords who helps you. Relationship-wise, some of you may be dealing with the King of Swords, okay? So someone with that same energy, someone who is not overly emotional, you know, very cool and even tempered, very analytical, very logical, okay? But at the same time, he is a king, so he knows what he wants, okay? Also with this King of Swords, it's about intention, okay? It's about doing things with intent. Do something new, break off and branch off, and definitely want to be mindful and know what your intentions are, okay? And not just be, you know, full of all this energy, full of all this motivation, and not have it directed, okay? The second week, you're dealing with Queen of Swords in the reverse energy. All right, so when I see the Queen of Swords in reverse, that scattered energy that I see right there, there's the cold, very rigid, but also in the reverse, you're dealing with a level of dishonesty, a lack of compassion, okay? So if that's your energy, you know, let's go ahead and clarify that to see what that is. For some of you, you may be dealing with a Virgo, okay? If you're not dealing with a Virgo, then this Hermit card, this is you kind of cutting everything off and maybe coming across as cold and even as a bitch to some people, male or female, because the Queen of Swords in reverse has that energy. Don't have time. You don't have time for any nonsense or foolishness because you're very focused and directed on what it is that you're dealing with. And you don't care if you're offending other people. You're probably ghosting people or will be ghosting people because you're really going to take that time with this Hermit card. If it's not a Virgo, then this is you really connecting with yourself, going within, looking for questions, you know, really trying to determine exactly what it is that you want, okay? You know, in other readings, I've been pulling 3 clarifiers, and I didn't do that for this reading. So let me go back. I don't want to cheat you guys, okay? I want you to have what everybody else is having. But even though your reading is coming out pretty clear without the 3rd clarifier, but sometimes, you know, it's just good to... Actually, if I don't need it, I don't need it. Maybe this will be the new thing. Maybe I'll just stick to 2. Maybe I don't need 3. But with this Hermit card here, with the Virgo energy, this Hermit energy, this is about being analytical. But it's not just about analyzing the situation. You know, you're also going to analyze yourself. And really, this will help you to find that direction that you need, that, you know, setting your intentions, so to speak. All right? Moving on to the 3rd week, we've got the Sun in the reverse. So for some of you, this may be just issues with your confidence or your self-image, okay? When we see the Sun in reverse, this can mean that, you know, this is just a temporary, whatever it is, it's very temporary. It's passing, okay? So whether that's just not feeling like you've got a handle on the situation, whether there's delays, okay? So maybe you feel like you're not getting word of, you know, especially for those of you who are waiting on promotion, you're starting to stress a little bit at this point because you haven't heard anything, you're worrying, you're like, oh my God, is this going to happen? For those of you who start a new project, you might start doubting yourself as far as that is concerned. So let's go ahead and clarify this energy. Yeah, we've got the 5 of Pentacles, and that, to me, that's that poverty mindset, okay? That come working from a place of lack. So it's like, don't psych yourself out. You know, you have everything that you need. You have the tools that you need to accomplish whatever it is that you want to accomplish. And, you know, sometimes we let fear and doubts get in the way. And so you really don't want to do that. You don't want to let this 5 of Pentacles come in and mess with your flow, okay? For some of you, this is going to be worrying. So there's a theme here of you kind of isolating yourself in the month of February. And whether that's isolating yourself because you're really you know, trying to do this new thing, and you recognize that the people around you or the situations that you're in around you may steal your focus. So you're going to take that time to find your focus, but within finding your focus, I think you're going to come across some things about yourself that, you know, you're not really pleased with. And that always happens with when we dig deep, when we do a little self-reflection, right? But at the same time, don't allow fear to drive you, okay? Don't let fear be getting in the way of all your motivation that you've got here. Now, rounding out the last week, we've got the Nine of Wands, okay? So with this Nine of Wands, this is about being persistent, okay? Having the courage to keep moving even when you start doubting yourself, even if other people start doubting you, all right? Being fearless, okay? Not giving up. All right, he's almost at the 10, but he's not there yet. So you have what you need. You have the reserves. Keep going. Don't let anything stop you. For some of you, this is about creating boundaries with others, okay? And sometimes maybe this isolation, you recognize where you need to set up boundaries in order to maintain your focus without others infringing on you and taking you off of that focus. All right, clarifying this, we get the Six of Cups in the reverse. All right, so some of you may be dealing with issues from your childhood or issues from the past, okay? With the Six of Cups in reverse, some of you may be living in the past, okay? This is about being a little bit unrealistic, having unrealistic expectations, you know, sometimes being naive. So I think that in the end of the month, this is the energy that's creeping up on you. And this tends to happen whenever you've got a new thing going or a good thing going, you know, especially if it's a habit that you've got ingrained in you from the past, okay? You've got to find a way to break out of that habit. You've got to find a way to not live in the past. You're moving forward, okay? We've got the Ace. We're going in a new direction. Leave the old things behind, okay? Leave the old things behind. Leave the old people behind. Leave anything, the memories, the nostalgia. Just leave it all behind and you know, allow yourself to embrace the new opportunities, okay? Whether that's a new romance. So I'll go ahead and pull the third card for each row just to see what else we can uncover about this reading. But, you know, definitely try to embrace this path forward that you have, okay? Because, you know, the old ways, if things aren't going the way you would like them to, and if you have new opportunities, the old ways aren't going to help you, okay? Sometimes we need to employ new ways of doing things and new ways of thinking, all right? Shuffling to clarify you, I see that Six of Cups jumping out again, so some of you definitely have, you know, it could be family ties, it could be, you know, just something about how you were raised. It could be a situation where you feel like, not that you just feel like, but for some of us, you know, especially if you had parents that were very, you know, controlling, you know, you kind of lose the ability or the confidence in making your own decisions or thinking that the things that you want to do are okay. You know, sometimes you get caught up in getting approval from other people and therefore you lose the ability to trust yourself. So I think here, you know, seeing this Five of Pentacles and the Sun in the reverse and the Six of Cups in the reverse, I think you need to let go of that and really learn how to trust yourself, okay? And for some of you, I think that's the struggle that you are experiencing right now, is really learning to trust this energy that you have, okay? Learning to trust the fact that, you know, maybe you are a creative individual, for those of you who have been focused on, you know, having a certain type of job or career. Maybe there's something in you that is worth exploring, and this is the perfect time. Like, there's so many opportunities and so many resources available for people who want to do things in the creative arts, you know, whatever that may be, okay? So, you know, no one's telling you to jump out the window and quit your day job, but, you know, sometimes your passions and your creativities are worth exploring. All right, so let's go ahead and get this last row sorted, and then we'll see what's going on. Okay, we've got the Two of Pentacles for this first week, Ace of Swords, and Ace of Wands in the reverse, the Eight of Cups in the reverse, and then the Five of Wands. So that last week there may be, some of you may have a fear of competition. Some of you may not like competition. Okay, so sometimes you got to go up against a little bit of competition. You can't be afraid of that. You can't shy away from challenges and obstacles. There's going to be obstacles, okay? There may be challenges. And when they arise, it's up to you to maintain that energy and composure to deal with them, okay? In this third week with this Eight of Cups in the reverse, this is about really focusing on your happiness versus focusing on the doubts and the fears, all right? With the Eight of Cups in the reverse, it's about, learning from the past. Okay, so yeah, sometimes, like I said, we have these issues that we've carried with us from the past, but learn from them versus succumbing to them, okay, instead of letting them guide you. The second week, we've got the Eight of Wands in the reverse. So this is, for some of me, this is about stalling. This is about frustrations. For those of you who are traveling, there may be some delays, but in the context of the Queen of Swords and the Hermit, I feel like the Eight of Wands is really more about frustrations. And, like you're going deep and it's almost like you're finding reasons to be worried, or you're worrying about all the setbacks versus worrying about all the possibilities. And I think that's where it starts to turn for you here, going into the lack of confidence and really having to remember that, yeah, things may have been that way in the past, but going forward. And so at the end of the month, you kind of grapple with past issues, habits, the ways of doing things, all right? Here in this first week with this Two of Pentacles, I think for some of you this is about a choice, okay? This is definitely about making a decision. For some of you, it's a decision between, the job that you have now, the new position, and the old position. For others of you, it's about multitasking, doing your current job and starting that creative project. For some of you, it's a relationship. Some of you may be dealing, like I said, you may be in a relationship with one person and possibly having an affair with the King of Swords type character. So that's not going to resonate with everybody, but it may resonate with a few. And so I think that, you're going to really have to make that decision. And in that decision, you're going to have to cut that person off. And I think that's where, for those of you who are dealing with an affair, once you cut that person off, then you're going to start doubting yourself. And this may be someone that you have either a past connection with or a karmic connection with, where you have a history of cutting them off and returning back to the situation because you think they make you happy, but really you're only doing that because you have a fear of either being alone or a fear of not being with that particular person. And the issue that you have with that person is there's other people in the picture. Okay, so you keep trying to make it work, but then at the end of the day, you keep getting reminded of why the situation isn't really working 100%. All right, so that's one specific for someone else. Everybody else, I feel like there's new things coming, whether it's a new job position or a new job or new creative endeavor or project that you start on your own. For some of you within your family, I think you're going to be dealing with really balancing out someone who asks a lot of you. I'm getting that. I'm feeling that for somebody. I think that, it's almost like you're going to have to learn how to focus on yourself. It's almost like your focus has always been on either this person or these people and making sure that they're okay. But now you really have to turn the focus on yourself and do some soul searching and find a balance. It's okay to help people, but not at the detriment of not doing what you need to do for yourself. All right, Taurus, so that has been your reading for February. If you enjoyed the reading, guys, make sure to give me a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments. Like the channel, subscribe.